In this video, we're going to review the 3 different ways of writing one equation, meaning writing a mathematical expression for a line. So again, there are 3 different ways for one line, and you need to know how they're connected and how you convert them back and forth. So the most popular 2 are called slope-intercept form. That's a little bit too dark, isn't it? So let's do something a little bit more sunny. Slope-intercept form is here, and standard form. Our best friend here is slope-intercept form. I should change that into a color you can't read, where AM stands for the slope and B stands for the y-intercept. Okay, so let's look at some examples here. You can be given a graph or you can be given some coordinates, but in this case, because it's given a graph, I can find my first point, I can find my second point, I go rise is always positive, then I go right, it's positive, so that's rise over run, and that should give me a 2. My y-intercept should be right here, and it's -3, so that makes life a lot easier, and I just plug it in. That's my final answer there. Okay, so finished with the other 3, I will write the answer here. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna move this page upward. Again, I want to remind everybody this is where, well, this is not where, but any point in this video when I go too fast, if you have something you don't understand, make sure that you pause the video, rewind, and listen to it again, and bring specific questions back to Mr. G and me. Okay, so let's keep going. Standard form is, who likes anything being standard? It's the boring stuff. So it's the ABCs. And really what it is that we put all the variables on one side and put the numerical term on the other side. Compared to slope-intercept form, we have just the y on one side and everything else on the other side. So you need to know how to convert back and forth. And here we are, number 7, we're given standard form. And you are also brilliant with inverse operation, and you can easily convert that into slope-intercept form. Okay, so a reminder again and again, I want to see your steps. Please do not give me your chicken scratch in pen, especially. You know by now that you would give Miss Birch heart attacks if you use pen to do math, because pencils are so much more fluid. Let's see, causes much less medical damages on Miss Birch. So I gave you the answer there. Please verify that and give me your specific steps. Next page, I'm going to move this up a little. So this is the third form. The third one is called the point slope, and the formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And the point being that you have one point, you have a slope, okay? And remember, all 3 of these are connected, so it didn't come just randomly from somewhere. If you recall this, that's, I think in your formula is y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1 equals x2 minus x1. The formula of slope, if you know one point, if you know the slope, you're left with a second point of x and y. Second point, the coordinates for the second point. And really, that's the conversion. That's where it came from. Okay, so there are 2 types of this. In this case, if the easiest thing is you're given the slope, you're given the coordinate, like example number 1. So you simply plug it in. Y minus 1, which is y1, equals slope is 2 times x minus x1. And if you distribute that, simplify it, you should have y equals 2x minus 7. So make sure you complete all the other three in the same manner. It's simply plug in the x1, plug in the y1, plug in the m. And this is such baby math, isn't it? You got so much better, so much stronger as a mathematician by now compared to when you first learned it. I think was in 7th grade or something. Oh, these little babies. You can do this. It's very straightforward. Let's see. I'm going to move this up so that I can see the bottom of your page. The second type of this point slope is that I don't give you a slope, but I give you 2 points. But remember, as long as I have 2 points, I can use my formula to calculate. Let me change the color. I can use my formula to calculate the slope, right? To calculate the slope, all I need is the coordinates of 2 points. So it does need a little bit more work, but it's not too bad. Let's look at this. I've got 2 points here, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So a little bit of arithmetic, I should have negative 8 over 4, so my slope is minus 2. And now at this point I have more than what I need. I need 1 point, I need a slope, and I end up having 2 points. That's fine. You can take any point. In this case, I'm going to do the first, I'm going to do the first one. So y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x2. So if you simplify that, you should have y equals negative 2x plus 1. All right, so all the other three are exactly the same and needs a little bit more mathematical calculation. That's it. The added step where you need to be aware of is the calculation of the slope. And as long as you have that, you're all set. I'm going to write down the final answer here. So that's how we do this. Okay. So finally, some additional practices. I'm going to let you do most of it, but just a quick reminder that I'm going to change the color. Remember that if they're parallel, their two slopes of the two lines must equal. If they are perpendicular, the slope of the first line has to be the opposite reciprocal of the second line. So the rest of it is about looking for where you can get these information. So let's look at number 9. Number 9 says I'm asked to write an equation parallel to this one, but I'm given a point, right? So if it's parallel, I know my slope, if I use my slope intercept form, I can, but so I know that it has to be 2x plus b. Okay, so that's one way to do it. But now you see that what are you going to do with the b? You're getting stuck a little bit. One way to do it is to simply plus the x and the y in there to solve for b and then replug in. Another way, it may be easier if I use this. This is all laid out for me. So I have y minus y1 equals my slope, which should be 2 times x minus x2. And if you simplify that, you should have y equals 2x plus 7. So I should have used a different color. My point being, now you see how these two are connected, that you can use this approach that I circled, or you can use this approach that I circled by blue. There are different approaches. One approach is more direct than the others, but either way you are going to be able to get there. Okay, so let me see. Let me do number 12 for you. So 12, I have perpendicular, so I know my second one must be the opposite of 3/4 and has to be reciprocal. So that's my slope. And since I have a point there, I have 1 minus y1 equals my new slope times x minus x1. So then you simplify that, you should end up having y equals negative 4/3 x plus 1. If you want to use the other approach to verify it, you should be able to do that. So again, all the answers are posted online. Make sure you verify your answers and bring your questions back to the classroom. Okay, guys? Thank you very much. I will see you soon. Bye.